If someone had told me 4 to 5 years ago that I'll be living and studying in Italy, I'll probably laugh because the dream has always been USA. But life has a funny way of surprising us, right? Hello, Fine Girl Nation. Welcome to Fine Girl Abroad, where I share real study abroad tips, how to move abroad, navigating life abroad with a sprinkle of that soft life we all deserve. And a quick disclaimer, I am not a visa or immigration agent. Everything I share across all my social media pages are based on my personal experience and experience of others. So today, I'm finally telling my own relocation story of how I moved from Nigeria to Italy for my master's degree at the University of Padova. And I've told this story on people's channel and vlog, but it's high time you hear the story from the Fine Girl mouth right on the Fine Girl channel. I started applying to school in US as far back as my final year in 2019. I even got an advisor at Kentucky State University, but the global pandemic came in 2020 and that was the end of that dream. So in 2021, I got admitted to University of Salento in Italy, but I missed the scholarship interview email. I found it in my spam folder 5 days later. You guys, I cried. I mean, I will. Because I had such a strong score, I think around 24 or 26 out of 30, and that would have made me stand a better chance if I didn't miss the interview. But you know what? That moment taught me something. Always check your email, because ever since then I've been closer to my Gmail than my WhatsApp. So still in 2021, on a random day at work when I was super frustrated, I was just scrolling through online, and that was how I stumbled on University of Padova. I quickly went through their website, checked the requirements, the funding available, and something in me just said, this is it. The application opened in November and I submitted my application in November. Within 24 hours, I got a notification that my application passed first evaluation stage. I literally screamed that, God, is that you? 5 weeks later, I got my admission letter, but the real test was waiting for the scholarship, which will be released in March. I was praying, fasting, manifesting. I was literally doing everything because that scholarship was my only hope. The day the list came out, I was actually very busy at work that day to even check the website if they have already published the list. But then an email popped up, I checked, and I saw Padova Excellence Scholarship. And that was one of the days I knew that God truly answers prayer. I put a call through to people who knew about the process and has been praying with me just to break the good news to them. I started shouting, and at a point I almost went emotional because I knew that that scholarship is going to do a lot for me, and from that moment I knew that my story is going to change for good. And another thing I would love to say here is that you can't do life without good people. If you have them in your life, if you have them in your cycle, be it family, be it friends, hold on to them tight. The Padova Excellence Scholarship actually made everything easier for me financially, and honestly it's one of my biggest blessings. I actually processed everything myself, from the application to the admission to the post-admission phase down to the visa process. But I'll be so ungrateful if I didn't acknowledge the help I got from a friend who is already in Italy. Shout out to Victoria, thank you so much, babe. And a community called GoItalia, which are officially Nigerian scholars in Italy. NISIT, they were such lifesavers. So for the visa process, the proof of fund part wasn't really stressful for me because of the scholarship. But one part that really humbled me was accommodation. Oh my God, like I cried. I think many landlords didn't want to rent apartments to Nigerians, maybe because of past experience. But I met a sister through my brother who actually hosted me. Shout out to Sister Precious, thank you so much. And that moment actually taught me that community saves lives abroad. So looking back, I'm super grateful to the people I've met here. I've actually built a beautiful community of friends, colleagues, sisters, brothers, who has actually made life abroad less lonely. And I've grown so much, not even just academically but personally, because there's something about moving abroad that forces you to grow even when you are not ready. So that's the story of how I relocated to Italy. No agents, no magic, no IELTS, just one girl, a passport, and chasing a dream. So if you are planning to study abroad, especially Italy, make sure you subscribe, because I'll be breaking down every step from finding scholarship to finding school to applying to school, settling in, navigating culture shocks, exploring Europe, and so much more. And my next video will be about Padova Excellence Scholarship, how to apply, what it entails, and how I actually got mine. So stay tuned, because that's one video you don't want to miss. And you can also connect with me via my social media and do right on the screen, or you can also find it in my banner. Arika is signing out, and until my next, stay soft, stay glowing, and keep chasing that dream abroad, because they are valid. Bye besties.